Hello, everyone, and happy holidays! Today, we are reviewing Happiest Season, a queer Christmas film up the alley. I actually don't like Christmas at all. I'm trying to learn to love it because it's the holidays, and I don't want to be a Grinch. She's like, I don't like Christmas, right? And it's just like, it doesn't really matter if I like Christmas. Christmas is happening, you know? It's happening. There's really nothing I can do to stop it. Unless, no, just kidding. But anyway, if you are feeling very giving of this holiday season, if you want to spread some holiday cheer, got some donation links down below. Would really appreciate it. This time is always hard for artists. And just know that when you donate, I am doing like almost every Christmas movie ever put out there. Everyone that I find in my little list, I put it down and I review it so that there will be more Christmas content to come. But yeah, if you do not have any money, but you have just a little bit of time, I would really appreciate you following me on social media, as I can leverage that to get more money. So if you're in the spirit of giving, that would be amazing. Also, make sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel, and let's get into it. So this movie starts off with some queer postcards, which I can't believe I never received a queer postcard. I've never gotten a queer postcard. I've never given a queer postcard, and I'm not doing it right. So Abby Holland, played by Kristen Stewart, and Harper Cadwell, played by Mackenzie Davis, are going on a Christmas tour, but they don't like it. It's kind of like an anti-Christmas tour. The Christmas tree is like, I guess like a, obviously you're losing trees, which is maybe not good for our planet. I don't really know how we like dispose of them to be good. And I'm hoping when we dispose of them, we just plant more. I don't really know how the Christmas tree process works. I don't want to think about it too much because it gives me anxiety. But either way, it's like a $12 million loss, that's also not great. And they cause about 4 deaths a year, Christmas trees. I'm honestly surprised it's not more. And Abby has lost her parents, little Kristen Stewart, because she's always got to have something to be, sad about, ever since Speak, an incredible film that I cannot wait to review on my podcast. But anyway, she's fine with taking care of Harper's pets because she lost her family and she doesn't like Christmas. So they sneak up on a roof. How romantic, right? And they have to get off of the roof because there's an angry tenant, and they like fall into the snowman somehow, and then he kills the snowman. Frosty is dead, y'all. The tenant was angry and wanted them to get off the roof because he was doing a weird S&M thing with a guy dressed as a reindeer. Everyone celebrates Christmas in a different way. You gotta have just a bonded Santa and reindeer sometimes. I thought you just put up a tree, but I'm doing it wrong. Anyway, they kiss, which is great. I love that. I love when a woman kisses another woman. We need more of that. If you're a girl, you should kiss another girl. Now that you've listened to this, you're cursed until you kiss another girl. That's the only way to free it. Sorry, I'm an evil witch. So Abby doesn't want to stay home alone. She says to Harper that she wants to go with her and meet her family, and Harper's like, yeah, sure. And I really like Kristen Stewart in this role. We always want Kristen Stewart to be more gay, right? Like, we're all rooting for that, right? That's not just me. It's not me. Comment below if it's not just me. So then Abby's friend John, Dan Levy, goes to a jewelry store because Abby wants to marry her and propose on New Year's, and asks Harper's dad for his blessing. And even though Dan Levi is like, wait, that's so patriarchal and I hate it, even though I feel like that's weird. It's like, I feel like a lot of gay guys love the patriarchy, and that is sometimes the problem, but I'm sorry being gay, But meanwhile, well, John is gonna Dan Levi, John is gonna look after the pets. Gay guys taking care of the pets, nothing will go wrong. And Harper then comes out and says, hey, she is not out to her parents. And Abby gets all mad because she thinks it's really dumb to invite her to this very conservative family. And she says that, everybody thinks you're my roommate. That's what Harper says about Abby. Not amazing, not the best. And Kristen Stewart's all mad, like, hey, why did you ask me to go? Like, this is gonna suck so bad. And she's like, you didn't have anywhere else to go. And Harper's just like, just get on board, pretend to be my roommate, and don't mention you're gay, and you don't necessarily have to lie. But it makes Abby really uncomfortable, but she's going to do it. So they meet their mom, who is on social media trying to gain awareness for her husband's campaign as mayor. She's doing dad's Instagram. They're not always Instagram husbands. There are Instagram wives, you know, and we need to recognize them. They have been in the shadows for too long. So they don't really let Abby talk, so there's no worries about the gays slipping out. And, you know, heaven forbid if you talk too much, somebody's gonna recognize you're a lesbian, right? So Harper's eldest sister, or second eldest sister, gave up being a lawyer to raise twins and make gift baskets. Not the life for me, but you do you, sis. And Abby also meets Harper's ex-boyfriend, which is awkward. His name is Connor, a name that stokes fear into me sometimes. And it seems that Harper's mom wants Harper to get back together with her ex. And yeah, it's not looking good because Abby did not know about Harper even ever having a boyfriend, and it's now been blindsided by that, feels really uncomfortable, and we were just learning that, you know, Harper is kind of a terrible, terrible liar. Not amazing. And they go, I'm not gonna ask two grown women to share a room, which is, oh gosh, not a big deal, but Abby had night terrors in the basement, and she had her older sister had night terrors in the basement, and she's like, I bet you had a better room in the orphanage. And Abby is like, I was 19 when my parents died. And they say that there's no lock, but then she ends up getting locked in, you know, classic Christmas comedy, you know, getting locked in. And meanwhile, her and her boy ex, Connor, are just bonding over how she had given him chicken pox. And yeah, at this point I'm like, Kristen Stewart needs to dump her because she's a liar. Then, on top of it all, we meet another ex, Aubrey Plaza, who is Riley Johnson in this. And Harper's parents kind of mock Aubrey's lifestyle choices. Plaza has been doing residencies at jobs and hiking, and meanwhile Harper's dad is living my dream life where he goes to Paris in a month and went every day to museums, which is like my dream happening. And Abby's trying to make the best of it. She's trying to you know, find it maybe erotic, concealing their authentic self. And then Harper's older sister, who is Allison Brie in this, lots of stars, star-studded cast, y'all, and Allison Brie has twins that wake Abby up in the morning. They're a niece and nephew, Matilda and Magnus, and they make fun of the law degree to the other sister, and they're all weirded out because Abby is sleeping where they normally sleep. And Allison Brie character, you know, she doesn't think that she is intense, even though she thinks that she is better than everybody, so that's always intense. And her husband makes Abby uncomfortable because he's like, oh, your hands are too dry, which is very weird thing to say. Our hands supposed to be wet? Very confused by this character. But then again, when have I really truly ever understood a straight man? You know, really? Like, I'm dating him and I don't even know. So Jane is a little weirdy, but she is creating experiences in baskets, and I love that for her. Good job. Amazing. So then they're going to ice skate. Abby joins all the sisters and Eric as they ice skate. And Harper and Salome get very competitive and try to outskate each other while their sister Jane records because she is a basket maker, not a competitive athlete, apparently. And they crash into a bunch of other people. Then, to make even matters worse, Abby is asked to take the Christmas photo, and Harper's mom is really critical and is like, none of them work, and none of them want to say Christmas when she's like, hey, like, you know, like, say cheese, but it's like, say Christmas, but they just smile. And Allison's Brie character tries to get Abby to move, into the one bedroom so that the one girl like literally be staying in a pantry, a la closet. And Harper doesn't really want to have a lot of combos anymore. Neither does Abby. She feels really awkward because Harper is just going to mingling with old friends and acquaintances, including her ex, Connor. And she bonds with Aubrey Plaza. And she's worried that Harper is falling in love and actually, like, wants a husband because then she can be, like, seen by her family. And she's clearly bisexual or pan. And Dan Levy is, for whatever reason, tracking Abby. I don't really understand, but it's fine. Sure. And he is a little nervous because the fish he was supposed to watch is dead, but he's just going to buy the exact same fish and figure it out. And Abby bonds with Aubrey Plaza, and they were really relating to each other. And I really like Aubrey Plaza in this. She's very, very good. So then Harper sneaks into Abby's room to sleep with her, which is needed to rekindle. I'm already so over Harper, though. I just want them to break up. And I now want Riley and Abby to be together. Way better. I love it. Let's let it happen. But I don't think it does. So Harper's parents go to check on Abby, and then she has to, like, hide in the closet, and then she accidentally falls into the closet. And they're really busy for the next 2 hours, so they can't make out. And they block the door because other people sleepwalk, is what she tries to say. And tries to say, like, oh, that she just fell asleep. Like, just tries to give all the excuses because she doesn't want to come out and is just too nervous. And I understand because I have been on a conversation of, like, trying to be out, and it has gone terribly with my conservative family. It's a really hard conversation to have because you really do feel unloved. And sometimes I honestly think it's just better to be unaccepted, you know? But that's just me. So all the family is then busy doing Christmassy stuff, and that leaves Abby to watch Matilda and Magnus. So she takes them to the mall, and because they're gonna go, like, see Santa. And I think they say this line of, like, they think that, like, Santa's dying for a second. And then Abby also runs into Caroline, who she met last night. But Caroline is, like, being dodgy. And the twins, of course, put a necklace in Abby's bag. And then mall security comes in. And that's super embarrassing and scary. And it's really awkward when she comes home because they think that she is a shoplifter, and they really don't like that, obviously, with the campaign and everything. They're, like, really sensitive to, like, criminals or whatever. And yeah, the security guard for the mall too scene was, like, super over the top. Just that very big, like, oh, great, you're gonna tell me how to do my job. Like, that one could have used maybe another rewrite, maybe just perhaps, in my opinion. But anyway, they get all nervous about, like, the kids and, like, if they were involved. I'm also confused as to where the kids went when she's with mall security. Like, are they there? Like, I don't really understand. They don't really cover that either. But anyway, because Harper's family thinks she's a shoplifter, she is uninvited from dinner, which is really awful and mean because she wants to spare her family from embarrassment. But she's like, I'll hang out with you after dinner, which is just awful. But Abby's like, you know what? Fuck this. And she goes and she finds Aubrey Plaza. And they go see some drag queens and have a good time. And they call it penis season. And it's really great. Aubrey Plaza's character admits that Harper outed her, which is really awful. And she was in love with somebody too. But she's just, like, afraid to show the world who they are with Harper. Like, it's not great. And I'm just like, man, more and more, I just want Abby and Aubrey Plaza's character together because they are more right for each other. And they sang with the drag queen. And, yeah, it was just, seems like they should be, but it's just awful. So then, of course, Abby goes to go join Harper and her friends at a bar, but Connor is, of course, there, and Abby's just like, I'm over it. I don't want any more digs. Enough penis season. And Harper goes to leave to go deal with her bad girlfriend, and Connor, like, wants to know if there was somebody else when they were dating, but Harper's like, no, of course there wasn't, because Harper is a liar, and she suffocates in the closet. She's a liar, 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 and she's just terrible. Like, yeah, they need to take some space, because, I don't know, she just got some issues. She's gotta work it. She's gotta be her true self, or just, you know, or not mix it all. But even then, it's like, yeah. I mean, it is a hard spot for Harper to be in, so I do understand, and it is, like, a really uncomfortable thing, but also, like, I would definitely be more of a wreck having to pretend. It would be really, really hard for me. And Harper is annoyed that Abby is annoyed about her spending time with Connor, because she feels like, oh, you're keeping tabs and being really jealous. And Abby is like, I'm tired of trying to hide from your family. And they're also so mean to their sister Jane. They're like, oh, I don't trust Jane to do anything on her own. Poor little Jane. She's honestly fan favorite too. And it is really weird. Yeah. Harper is just an extremely strange person, but obviously her family is, you know, like, really focused on image and things being a certain way. So Abby calls John, Dan Levi, to, like, ask him for a ride because an Uber back cost her $1,000, which is not amazing. And yeah, Jane couldn't go pick up the wine by herself. That's the thing. They didn't trust Jane to do it by herself for their white elephant Christmas party. And Abby hangs out with Riley, which Harper notices, and she gets all mad because she's like, you know, like, oh, you go after my boyfriend, then you hang out with my ex. But she did Aubrey Plaza's character so dirty that I'm like, I just don't care. It's really, really hard to sympathize with Harper, I gotta say. And Riley, you know, talks about how she was, like, frustrated with Harper because she could never be open about who she was and who she loved. So Abby tries to make the best of it. She, like, brings wine, but then she sees Harper and Connor together and gets really irritated. And everybody also assumes that the wine that she brought was stolen because they think she's a shoplifter. And her mom, like, you know, doesn't even know if they had tree and is kind of, like, asking her to leave to, like, just avoid any further incidents because they don't want it. And then Jean is there to save the gay. The gay man came to the rescue. I am often the gay man sometimes, and I would say Dan Levi's handsome. I don't know what you guys think, but sure, he's handsome. And he's like, it's over, and Abby has to agree because she just doesn't like what Harper is doing, and she says that she's done. I'm really glad, honestly, that she says, you know, I'm not, like, I can't do this. This is awful. Like, because it is her fault. Like, she shouldn't have to, like, hide Abby, and Harper just finds it really hard because it's, like, there's so much pressure to be, like, you know, the perfect children, and she feels like she can't be in love with who she loves, and Abby is just like, you know, like, I got free of, like, having to hide in the closet. I'm not, like, interested in your weird, like, family competition, and she's like, I understand why you feel that, but she's like, but I'd rather be who I am, and I want somebody who will be themselves with me. And Harper even tries to say, you know what, yeah, sure, I'll rather be me, and I'll lose them. And then, of course, Salone, Alison Brie's character, sees, and then is going to go tell the family because she is the worst. And Harper is, like, begging her not to, but then Eric and Carolyn, who is the friend that Kristen saw in the mall, and that was really, like, awkward, she sees that Alison Brie's husband is having sex with her, and they both fight because Harper's like, you had secrets too, and Brie knew about, like, the affair and says that they weren't going to go public about it until later, that they're getting a divorce. And they're all fighting, and Salone admits that Harper is a lesbian and Abby is her girlfriend, and Harper then lies about it. They're, like, knocking stuff over, even a very good party, and they're fighting in front of everyone, and poor Jane does not like this. And yeah, I mean, it's really awful the way that Alison Brie's character outs her. Like, it's super out of control. Like, to out somebody like that is, like, really, really nasty. Yeah, it's because it was just, like, mean-spirited, you know, like, just not very nice. And Harper, of course, denies this and says she's not a lesbian, which is super, super weird. And Abby just, like, leaves really sad with John. And Harper takes, like, this large painting that Jane made and smashes it over Salone's head. And that makes Jane really sad because she worked so hard on it, and it was a very, very good painting. And Vengeance Aubrey Plaza is just, like, so pleased right now. And Jane is like, I am something, and I like myself. Like, I made all of this stuff, and they break the tree because they're all fighting, and they separate. And then meanwhile, John is outside talking to Abby, and he's like, were your parents supportive? And Abby is like, yeah, they were super supportive when I came out to them. And John's like, yeah, well, my father kicked me out of the house and didn't speak to me for 13 years. So Abby, like, not to burst your little happy gay bubble, some families have their own ways of, like, supporting their children. And yeah, the gay friend rescuing her, we all need a gay friend that rescues us, you know what I mean? And Abby's like, wow, I really needed you. And John is like, just because she isn't ready doesn't mean that she doesn't love you. And Kristen Stewart's like, that's fine and all, but I want to be with somebody who's ready. So Harper's dad is, like, yelling at everybody for their behavior. And I'm still shocked that none of the ornaments on the Christmas tree broke, even though it fell down. I super doubt that, unless I guess they're all plastic. Just got really lucky, like, but I don't know. And Harper apologizes to Aubrey Plaza, which is, like, very, like, a little too late. Like, definitely should have done that way sooner and been way nicer to her. But she does come out to her parents and that she is in love with Abby. But Abby's like, too late for that, bitch. Like, you should have told him sooner. And Harper comes out in this, like, big thing. She's like, I should have told you sooner, but appearances matter, like, so much in the family. And she's like, I let myself even hurt, like, Aubrey Plaza's character, Riley. And she was like, I was really scared that you were going to find out that I wasn't who you wanted me to be, which is very powerful. I related a lot to that. Which is just, like, this is my one note for parents, you know what I mean? Is, like, instead of wanting your kid to be something, why don't you let your kid be what they are? But anyway, Harper is done being scared, done keeping secrets, and Sloane, Alison Brie's character, comes out and is like, hey, also, Eric and I are getting a divorce, and she didn't think that she could talk to her parents about it because she thinks that their dad only cares about how their family, which is, like, an interracial couple with biracial kids, looks for his campaign, which that's, like, oof, that's really awful, too. And Jane just says that, she doesn't have any secrets, but she is an ally to the gays, which I love. And she does struggle to feel like she fits in with the family. And I would say all of the women characters in this are very well written, which is not usually the case with a Christmas movie. And it's very heartbreaking when Harper is like, I did it, and she's so proud. And Kristen Stewart's character is like, sorry, it's too late. And it's like, ugh. I think if I saw somebody do that, I would be like, yeah, you can come back in. But I guess different people, Meanwhile, the father has, like, left the room because he's all frustrated or whatever. But the mom admits, that she wanted to take karate. She hates flowers. And it's pretty awful that their daughters couldn't be honest with them. So Harper apologized to Abby for everything that she had to deal with this crazy Christmas weekend. And they kiss and make up because they still love each other. And then the twins come forward and apologize to Abby and admit that they put the necklace in her bag. Not very nice. They're the shoplifters this whole time, and they were not uninvited from the dinner. And the dad is like, hey, you know what? I also have secrets and insecurities, and I'm really worried that you guys wouldn't be proud of me. And the family is like, we're proud of you no matter what. Like, it doesn't even matter if you get mayor and with your campaign or anything. It's like, it's not really a big deal. Like, literally, it's your dream. And yeah, I don't know why men are so silly with the things they think sometimes, And so then the husband gets a call from, the dad gets a call from this guy who's like, oh, I'll sponsor this campaign, but you have to get your daughter to keep her private life out of the media. And the dad refuses and says, you know what, we'll find somebody else to help. And then Abby's friend John takes the picture, and Jane's like, you know what, don't even worry about the campaign because when I sell my book, I'm going to take care of all of us. And yeah, you know, thanks Joe Biden, I guess. Because I think that was on the campaign that, like, refused, or is the one that is going to, yeah. Oof, Biden, that's not so good. We met, you should accept the gays. We were all in the room together anyway. He took pictures with a trans woman, for goodness sakes. But anyway, I don't know who made this movie. Maybe some conservatives, because there is, like, a conservative through line. But I like that the dad does the right thing. I think that's really powerful to show, especially, like, the male perspective, because they're the ones that need the help the most, honestly. But anyway, wasn't ready to whisper. I like that the dad is like, you know, nothing should be won by hiding the truth. And then they invite Abby in to the family picture. They include her, which is so nice, and they have her gay friend take the picture. Super sweet. And then 1 year later, the next Christmas, Jane's got her best-selling fantasy book. Abby and Harper are engaged, and Ted won the campaign for mayor, and the mom has taken up karate lessons. And that is happiest season. Not bad as Christmas movies go. Definitely one of my more favorites. But what did you think about it? Let me know in the comments below. And of course, if you have any money to spare, please donate. Please. I'm ringing my little Salvation Army bell. My money will not go to the Salvation Army though, so don't worry about that. Yeah, I'm just ring my little bell for donations, and it would be amazing if you cannot donate to subscribe and follow me on social media. And yeah, let me know what you liked about this movie, if you want me to review any other Christmas movies. And I hope you have a very happy holiday from my little family to yours. And I hope if you are not out, you will be able to be in some capacity at some time, and you find your chosen family, even if your family doesn't accept you, because it's not always easy, you know? Anyway, have a good one. Thank you guys again so much for watching and listening, and have a great holiday season. Bye.